welcome to my YouTube video. I haven't got a proper intro. I don't know what to say if I want to come in. I don't know, you guys think of something. But today we're going to be watching convicts who have showed no mercy in the courtroom. This is going to be a little series. I do like this sort of stuff, so you'll be seeing this probably quite a lot, especially like murder mysteries and like other stuff. But yeah, and if you guys want me to watch some anime as well, just write in the comments. You want me to watch anime? I mean, alright, and this is gonna be like for a couple of days. I am gonna be playing a game on Wednesday, a live stream. I'm gonna live stream it on Twitch. It's called Don't Scream. I'm gonna be playing that on Wednesday. My Wednesday, which would be your Tuesday, if you're from America or like different parts of the world. So I hope you come and watch my stream, and let's get right into the video.
I will break out soon, and I will kill more.
Ladies and gentlemen, please step out of the...
Dead.
Top 7 convicts who showed no remorse in the courtroom. Realizing that you're about to be locked away for a really long time is usually devastating for most offenders, but not these guys. Randall Moore even shouted at the mother of the person he killed. Number 1. Randall Moore. Randall Moore was charged with first-degree murder, first-degree kidnapping, and attempted murder. On November 11, 2009, 31-year-old Teresa Ann Lynch had just finished her dental appointment when she drove across to the Merle Hay Mall in West Des Moines, Iowa. Teresa Ann was a U.S. veteran who served 3 tours overseas, but at that moment, she had no idea she was being followed by her estranged husband, Randall Moore. As she got back into her car, he blocked her in and forced her headfirst into his before driving off. The two had been married less than a year when Teresa Ann contacted her family to help her escape the marriage. They picked her up from work, and she and her 6-month-old son were moved to the aunt's home. Teresa Ann had bruises on her face, arms, neck, and back, along with several rug burns. Days later, during a supervised visit to see his child, Randall spent his time pacing around her aunt's house saying, "I didn't tell her she could leave." He also mentioned buying shotgun shells from Walmart. When he left, he made an ominous warning they were going to pay. After kidnapping her, Randall took Teresa Ann back to their apartment where he her. Then he went to get his 12-gauge shotgun. As Teresa Ann begged for her life, Randall fired twice in her face. Des Moines officers rushed to the apartment. One of the officers, Todd Rowland, had just exited his car when he was shot in his hand. He was rushed to the hospital. A 911 call was made to the apartment.
You want me to tell you something?
Well, you can tell me whatever you want.
I didn't want to do any of this.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, all I wanted was my son. I just wanted to see my 7-month-old baby. That's all I cared about.
You just wanted to see your son?
Yep.
After threatening to kill himself, Randall begged not to be shot and surrendered. Randall's trial began a year later at a Polk County courtroom. 1.5 weeks later, the jury returned with their verdict on all 4 charges, guilty. Tears of relief broke down among Teresa Ann's family, but Randall was emotionless and unbothered for now. At his hearing, Teresa Ann's mother was reading out her victim impact statement when Randall butted in.
Read the journal she wrote. She hated you.
Thank you, Judge.
She hated you.
Thank you.
You're a loser.
He made pointless statements, gaslighted the courtroom, and even more pointless statements, praised his parenting skills, how great of a dad he was, bragged about how good of a husband he was, and made excuses for his ignorance, ending with a tirade.
And I'll tell you point blank.
What the actual fuck? Oh, hell no. Oh, no. Nah, bro. What the... Sorry I was quiet for the last, 2 minutes. I just wanted to know what the fuck was happening. But holy shit. This dude's an asshole. Oh, I should have sweat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to bleep that out. When I figure out how to get an editing software on my computer. But anyway, yeah. This dude, bro. Holy shit. Let's continue with it. Yes. Yes.
I have not 1 ounce of remorse for Teresa Ann's death. It could have all been prevented. All you had to do is let me see my kid. Now you're never going to see her again.
Judge Novak could not hide his shock over Randall's antics.
I just can't believe what I've heard, but I am really glad You had your right of elocution, and you could say everything that you said, because if anybody didn't know what a piece of work you were before you start talking, they know it now.
On November 12, 2010, Randall was sentenced to 3 consecutive life terms and 25 years for the attempted murder of Officer Rowland. If Randall's disrespect had you shocked, what 16-year-old Saria Halseth did at her trial after...
Honestly, I hope he gets killed in prison, bro. Like... I hope he gets decayed and killed. Like, bro... Nah, that's not on, man. That's not on. Alright, let's check what this twat did. Let's go. I'm just gonna...
killing her dad will blow your mind.
Her
Number
dad?
2, Saria Halseth. Saria Halseth was charged with 9 felony counts, including murder with a deadly weapon, conspiracy to commit murder, and arson. On April 9th, 2021, the body of 45-year-old Daniel Halseth was found on fire in the garage of his home in
2021? Hold up, I need to go back. Hold on. That wasn't that long ago. Yeah! Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
2021, the body of 45-year-old Daniel Halseth was found on fire in the garage of his home in Las Vegas. He'd been stabbed over 70 times, and his daughter, 16-year-old Sierra, was also missing. Sierra was the daughter of his ex-wife, former U.S. Senator Elizabeth Hegelian. The police worried that whoever murdered Daniel had kidnapped her. Then, 4 days later, she was found with her boyfriend, Aaron Guerrero, in Salt Lake City, Utah. When they looked through her phone, they found all the confession they needed: a disturbing video of Aaron and Sierra laughing about committing a murder.
Oh, get fucked.
Whoa! Don't put that on camera.
Investigators also found evidence that the two had gone on a shopping spree with Daniel's credit card the day before he was murdered, buying bleach, folding pocket knives, a circular saw, and a chainsaw, all of which had been found covered in Daniel's blood back at his house. Daniel's mother even sent text messages to Sierra asking why she couldn't get across to him, and Sierra replied that his phone was broken, and another time that he was in the shower. According to Nevada state law, Sierra was charged as an adult, even though she was just 16. Both Sierra and Aaron pleaded guilty to all counts against them to avoid the death penalty. At the sentencing hearing, in a long-winded letter, an emotionless Sierra unapologetically blamed her father for her actions by lying.
My biological father has traumatized me. Trauma that I still have to work through every day. I've never had any problems and I've always been a positive influence. My biological father abused me. Not only did he hit me and put his hands on me, but he shaved me, touched me, sexualized me, slapped me, kissed me.
She even had choice words to describe him.
My biological father abused drugs and alcohol. He forced others to drink. He drank heavily every day.
On the other hand, when it was Aaron's turn to speak, he solemnly apologized.
To the Halseth family, I'd like to start off by saying I'm sorry for what I did. I wish every single day that I could get my life straight as well. I wish I could do something for those who loved him.
During the victim impact statement, Daniel's family didn't pull their punches.
Our family wasn't able to choose their punishment, but they both should have gotten death. 20 years will never be enough for taking down.
I can hear my brother ask me to forgive and to be honest.
They're probably gonna die in prison anyway.
Daniel's mother ended her statement by thanking Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Aaron had been in tears while the statements were read, while this cold-blooded killer looked on unfazed.
My God.
Aaron and Sierra were sentenced to life.
Aaron regrets it. But her, she gotta get killed in prison. The worst he'll probably get, and probably beat up, and the R, because I can't say that word on YouTube, but the R with the boys, being a little soap from the shower, that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's probably the worst he's gonna get. But her, no, she's gonna be, she's gonna be fucked, bro. As soon as she goes to that jail, all those women will be doing all sorts of shit to her, bro. Like, woo! Oh, she gotta get bad, bro. She probably has. Like, she's been in there for 2 years already. So, I don't even know how old this video is actually. But, been in there for about 2 years now. She's probably completely fucked. Let's continue.
life in prison with the possibility of parole after 22 years. Daniel's family have since disowned Sierra, and Daniel's gravestone has the names of the other 2 kids. If you think the sentence he got was fair, make sure you subscribe to my channel down below right now. Sierra Halseth lying against her own dad is unbelievable. More unbelievable are the antics that 40-year-old Keith Ferguson got up to in court. Number 3, Keith Ferguson. Keith Ferguson was facing 12 charges, including 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of first-degree home invasion, and wearing body armor during the commission of a violent crime. In September 2014, Tiffany Ferguson filed for divorce from her husband, Keith Ferguson. The mother of 4, who had helped create a youth hockey association in Kalkaska County, was now acknowledging that she and her husband were different people. Where she was warm and giving and funny and spunky, Keith barely knew the neighbors, and her taking up running was driving a wedge between them to the point he was breaking her glasses and snooping through her phone. The first court appearance was for the divorce scheduled for Friday, 21st November. The following day, Tiffany planned to move to a new home and start her new life, but it was
Let's see how that works.
3 days before the hearing on November 18th, Keith made himself a one-man arsenal of firearms, donning body armor, brandishing 4 firearms, and carried an assortment of explosives. Then he fired at Tiffany 3 times at their Cold Springs Township home, right in front of their children, aged 3, 9, 11, and 13. But he wasn't done traumatizing them yet. Keith piled the 4 children into his vehicle and drove them to their grandfather's home in Excelsior Township. He got into the house and fired at Tiffany's father, 63-year-old James Weber, right in front of the kids. Again. The terrified children ran to the neighbors' homes for help. One of the neighbors happened to be a Kalkaska sheriff's deputy who immediately called 911. At the same time, Keith called the police that he'd taken a hostage and was in another location down on Golden Road. For the next 7 hours, Keith was spouting off military terms down the phone, cosplaying as Army personnel. In the early hours of the next morning, the standoff ended with the hostage released and Keith's surrender. From the very beginning, Keith's court appearances were
Are the kids dead?
disruptive.
I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, alright.
Put me back in my cell.
Okay, stop.
Judge Lynn Boudet held him on a $10 million bond. In response, Keith flipped off the court and swore at the judge.
You. Okay. Well.
The prosecution was gearing up for a dramatic trial when, in early March 2015, Keith pleaded guilty to the murders in exchange for dropping the other charges.
And did you intend to kill him?
Oh yeah.
And did you think about whether or not you wanted to kill him and make a deliberate choice to do so?
No yeah. Put half a magazine in that.
When the judge asked him to give details about his crimes, he flipped.
Well, I'm not getting into any detail of what happened.
If you want to be guilty, you have to say what you did.
I'm not saying alright? Because of the respect and the safety of my children, I'm not saying nothing. Because they're gonna see this. They don't need to hear that. Understand what I'm saying? You know, let's just make this painless and not
Bitch! Oh my god, my kids are gonna see this. I don't want them to see this. Bitch! You literally shot their mom in front of their fucking face. Okay? They already know what you did. Oh, this person's fucking stupid. Oh my god. Oh my god. This triggered me. Oh my god, this person is really fucking stupid. Oh, fucking hell, man. Like, the amount of stupidity this fucking person has. Oh my god, I'm having an aneurysm right now. Oh my god, bro. They've already seen you kill people, like 2 people. They've already seen you kill 2 people. Why the fuck? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna continue.
whatever, and give me the out of here.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, well do it.
Screaming obscenities and arguing.
You understand me? I'm not doing this in front of these stupid cameras and these inbreds.
Even getting him escorted out was a hassle.
Don't touch me. I'll see y'all in hell.
Days later, at his sentencing, it was an unexpectedly subdued Keith that was brought into the court to listen to Tiffany's friends.
She was husband, mom, daughter, and friend. I knew I could always count on her.
but he will still not be allowed to have any contact with his children. Keith agreed. Judge George Metz was not convinced about his behavior change. Keith was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Fucking
Keith's
better not.
screaming at a sitting judge shocked the whole court, but people throwing tantrums is nothing new. Just take a look at Bryce Rhodes. Number 4, Bryce Rhodes. Bryce Rhodes was charged with 3 counts of murder and terroristic threatening. On May 4th, 2016, Bryce shot Christopher Jones in a drive-by. In the car with him was a set of brothers, 15-year-old Maurice Gordon and 14-year-old Larry Ordway. 3 weeks later, the teenagers' bodies were found stabbed and burned behind a home in the Shawnee neighborhood of Louisville, Kentucky. When Bryce found out, one of them had told his mother what he had seen. Days later, Bryce was arrested and charged with all 3 murders. The trial began. From the start, Bryce was an angry, erratic defendant and was brought in with a wheelchair and a spit mask to keep him under control. Not that it helped much. He even threatened the judge.
I'm not trying to be racist, but it looks like he's mixed race. Okay, he looks like he's got African American in him, because I'm not going to say black, and it looks like he's got Asian, like he's had like, what, either an Asian mum or dad, who knows, or a black or an African mum or dad. I don't know, he looks like he's mixed race. I'm not being racist or anything, I'm just saying he looks mixed race. Because of the hair, he doesn't look like he has Asian hair. He looks like he has, like, I don't know, he looks Asian to me, okay, with like dark skin and that. He could be, I don't know, Filipino, maybe? He could be Filipino. Filipino people are, like, on the little bit of the darker side. It could be from any Asian country, actually. But it looks like he's mixed race. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's continue.
In court proceedings with outbursts at judges over the years.
So you're saying you're going to find out where I'm out?
None of that. You got something, I'll be up.
Okay.
Yeah,
You've been charged with assault in the 4th degree, minor injury, terroristic threatening in the 3rd degree, with physical contact. New charges. I'm entering a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Would you like me to read the arrest warrant to you?
No, I'm not guilty.
He spat on a lawyer who he said would not be representing him and called him a coward. Said things that didn't make sense.
You're gonna find out real quick.
Oh, he thinks he's so tough, eh? He thinks he's real tough, doesn't he? But when he goes to prison, oh, he's a new one. He's gonna get some. Yo, have you prayed today? Have you prayed today? Oh yeah, nah, he's new. Oh, this is like back in 2014, so back when then, he would have been like a new prisoner. He would have been the F, he would have been the R, he would have been the soap in the shower, he would have been the beat up boy, he would have been the trash man, he would have been all that, bro. When he comes out of that prison, he's gonna be a whole new man if he does. But I'm pretty sure he's not getting out because of, you know, parole and all that shit. And I'm pretty sure he didn't get parole. I don't know, I have to continue watching. Anyway, I didn't say any of that stuff, I just said the letters of them, okay? So I probably won't get demonetized. I hope. Anyway.
He smiled and blew kisses at his victims' families and fired lawyers willy-nilly. Behind bars, he was no walk in the park either. He was arraigned for throwing urine at a correctional officer and trying to assault another. Bryce's lawyer argued that he needed a competency test, but the victims' families were done with the shenanigans. They were right. For 2 more years, Bryce has sat behind bars doing test after test to ascertain his mental state. Finally, in April 2023, Bryce was back in court and has been found competent to stand trial. His court case is set to begin on December 11th, 2023. What else will Bryce Rhodes get up to in court? We can't wait to see. It just might be as creepy as what Michael Swanson did when he heard his verdict. Number 5, Michael Swanson. Michael Swanson was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and first-degree robbery. On November 15th, 2010, 17-year-old Michael armed himself with a stolen 40 caliber Beretta handgun, put on his mask, and walked into a come-and-go store in Iowa where he shot the store clerk, 61-year-old Sheila Myers, and stole $31 and some cigarettes. But this was not his first murder that day. Just hours earlier, he'd walked into a Crossroads convenience store demanding cigarettes and money from the store clerk, 47-year-old Vicky Bauman Hall. Then he shot her. Both times he had a mask on. Michael was arrested and pleaded guilty. His motive for murder was not an incessant need for cigarettes and money. He said he wanted to feel powerful and even planned to kill his parents once he clocked 18. The following year, in June 2011, Michael was found guilty of the murder of Sheila Myers. When the jury convicted him, he flipped off TV cameras and smiled. He was still laughing weeks later when he was sentenced to life in prison and as he was walked out of court. Hours later, he was in a different county for the trial and murder of Vicky Bauman Hall, the second store clerk.
What the fuck are wrong with people?
Guilty. During the sentencing, Vicky's daughter, Jillian Bauman, gave an emotional statement about her mother being murdered and called Michael a coward. Swanson started to smile, and the judge quickly told him if he wanted to keep smiling, he could spend a little more time in the Kossuth County Jail. That wiped the smile off the delinquent's face. The judge gave his final words to Michael.
2 months into your 18th year, and you have 4 gray walls to look forward to for the rest of your life.
Michael was sentenced to 2 counts of life imprisonment. The state of Iowa breathed a
2
sigh
counts.
of relief.
Fuck.
In 2013, life sentences of 38 juvenile inmates in Iowa were to be commuted to 60 years in prison before parole, including Michael's, due to a United States Supreme Court ruling. Michael was still behind bars, waiting for his resentencing hearing, when he decided to do something really stupid. At 7:18 a.m., almost 5 years to the day he murdered the store clerk, Michael, now a 21-year-old, and another inmate approached an inmate that was seated in a chair in the common area in a cell block. Ivester grabbed the inmate's arms and hands while Swanson used a knife fashioned out of a razor blade to slash at the inmate's neck 15 times. A corrections officer and another inmate pushed both men off the victim, who had to get stitches. The two faced additional charges, 1 count each for attempted murder, and Michael's resentencing hearing for Swanson has been held indefinitely. He and his sidekick were sentenced to 25 additional years in prison. Michael Swanson's
I'm sorry. He called the other dude his sidekick. Oh my god, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh my god, okay, continue. I had to laugh at that. I'm sorry. That's just the funniest shit I've ever seen. That's
smiling
hilarious.
at life sentence is as bad as it gets till you hear all the stunts Luis Bracamontes pulled at his trial. Number 6, Luis Bracamontes. Luis Bracamontes was charged with 2 counts.
I thought it said Pocahontas. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude about your name, but I literally thought he said Pocahontas for his last name. Like, what? Okay.
Counts of first-degree murder, illegal weapons possession, and stealing a patrol vehicle. On October 24th, 2014, Bracamontes opened fire on Deputy Danny Oliver in a neighborhood in Sacramento, California. He then carjacked another patrol vehicle and fired at another police officer, Detective Michael Davis, and his partner before fleeing the scene. After an extensive manhunt, Luis was found in the basement of a building and taken in. Behind him, he left 2 officers dead. Luis' 4-year trial was filled with offensive outbursts as he smirked, confessed, and even made threats.
I will break up soon, and I will kill more.
When the prosecution detailed one instance an officer had backed away, Luis' reaction was terrifying.
Howard, you were very silent.
It was a more subdued Luis that came into the courtroom to hear his verdict, but he wasn't done with his antics yet.
Of course he wasn't. Of course he wasn't, bro.
Talking along with the presiding juror, making sure to join the chorus each time the judge asked the jury about the verdict, and smiling at the victims' families. As he heard his guilty verdict, Luis laughed, blew kisses, made rude gestures, and pointed finger guns at the crowd, all while laughing as the jury recommended the death sentence. When Luis left the courtroom, he made one last promise. At his sentencing, Luis shouted expletives at victims till he was bundled out.
As a monster is too good of a word for this man, he's a coward. See, men like Dan Oliver. Those little men of honor. They're like that to me. This man is good. It's like I don't need him.
He was sentenced to death by lethal injection.
Yeah!
And blow kisses.
Oh, he did. He did. Oh god, he got the death sentence, bro. Holy fuck. See, nowadays people don't get the death sentence because you know, the era we're in, we don't usually do that because they want to give people a chance. Like, if, like, a certain amount of time they don't change, they will get another sentence, either life or they will get a death sentence, depending on how the mental state is. So, yeah. I don't know about here, though. I'm from Australia. I don't really pay attention to, like, my side of stuff. This is in America. So I know a tiny bit more about that. I don't know about Australia. I don't even know if we get death sentences here. And if we do, you probably have to be really fucking in the head for it to be a death sentence here. Because I will say, yes, there is very violent Australians. Yes, I will say that. But most of the time, we're like chill people. Barely robberies. Barely murders, actually. It's been like ages since I've seen a murder on like TV. Mostly you get like stabbings, brutal beatings, car crashes. But the most you will see on TV in Australia is car crashes, basically. That's the most you see on Australian news and all that. Is basically car crashes, because that happens the most. So let's get back to the video. I just had a little rant there, sorry about that.
Them all up to get Darrell Brooks' epic flip-out moments in court. Number 7, Darrell Edwards Brooks. Darrell Brooks was charged with 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and 61 counts of reckless endangerment and 6 counts of hit-and-run causing death. On the afternoon of Sunday, November 21st, 2021, the city of Waukesha in Wisconsin was gathered to celebrate the 58th annual parade holiday, fondly called the Waukesha Christmas Parade, when a red Ford Escape ran
you can see it
directly toward the parade, charging into the crowd. Officers rushed to stop the car, but it went through a barrier and disappeared. In the aftermath, 56 people were run over and 6 people were dead. One of them, a child. The police had the driver of the car in custody, Darrell Brooks. He was not new to the system either. Dating back to 1999, Darrell had racked up a string of charges.
1999, the year I was born. Fucking hell, mate. Why was 99 a bad year? Why was 1999, bro? Fucking hell. Oh, anyway, let's continue.
Charges including drug
I'm just kidding, I don't really care.
Battery and bail jumping. Just 2 weeks before the incident, he'd been released from jail on a $1,000 bail after running over Erica Patterson, an ex-girlfriend and mother of his child. On the day of the hit and run, Darrell had fought with her before jumping into his mother's SUV and driving away. The 3-week trial was a circus filled with outbursts by Darrell, who chose to represent himself, only to realize how bad he was at doing that.
You're not asking me to reconsider it based on any legal basis.
There should be a legal...
Is this person stupid? He's representing himself. And apparently he was so bad that that just sentenced him anyway, because this dude's a fucking idiot.
The legal reconsideration of it.
Then you need to provide me with the legal basis for that, sir.
So I'm supposed to just come off that with off the top of my head?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
You're representing yourself. It's not ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
The judge wasn't having it. He started calling himself a sovereign citizen and that law and legal proceedings of the United States do not apply to him, and continued to interrupt Judge Jennifer Doro.
I am well aware that's another interruption.
This dude is so
well
stupid.
Which I have the right to do.
I'm well aware, Mr. Brooks, that you object to the name that has identified on the information and all documents in this case. Your objection is noted. It does not need to be repeated.
At one point, he banged his fist on a table and had a stare down with the judge, then screamed in the courtroom.
It is disrespectful to me that you think I would come in here purposely and treat this like a joke or a game.
I never said it was a joke.
What type of statement is that? Your life is not on the line. Mine is. And you think that I think this is funny?
I don't think it's funny whatsoever.
During witness testimony, Daryl laughed and almost flew off the handle when the witness addressed him directly. He continued to argue with the prosecution during the trial, and even the court being in recess did not stop his tirades.
Did you know she said she was 18 when I met her? Did you know that?
Many times, the judge ordered him to be removed to a separate courtroom because of his behavior. One time, he stripped off his clothes there and held up placards at the judge. Like a toddler, he refused to seat if he was ordered to, and threw tantrums, even screaming when he was taken out of the courtroom. Then he built himself a fort with evidence boxes and sunk behind and blocked his face. After closing arguments, Daryl created another spectacle.
Wow, I am so confused. What the fuck? The amount of shit he did. It's just gonna get more time, bro. That's funny. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
The jury came back with a guilty verdict on all 76 charges. At his sentencing, Daryl rolled his eyes again and again as one of the victims talked about his mom. But in others, he had a Bible in front of him and looked away, flipping through the book and praying. At one point, he tried to address one of the victim's statements and started arguing when the judge disagreed. One of the people in attendance lost it at that.
Because that's what you've been waiting to do the whole time.
All right.
God damn.
Sir, you're gonna have to be removed. I'm sorry.
When it was Daryl's turn to speak, he gave a rambling statement blaming the prosecution and went on.
The part of me that I don't understand why it goes the way it goes had every intention to come in here and lay into you.
And on for 2 long hours. When the judge threatened to remove him if he didn't behave, he charged at her and challenged her to do so. The judge gave her statement, Daryl had another outburst and was promptly removed. In the end, she closed with, "You have absolutely no remorse for anything that you do. You have no empathy for anyone. Frankly, Mr. Brooks, no one is safe from you." The judge threw the book at him, sentencing him to 6 counts of life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 762 additional years.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
After the video with the sticker went insane.
Dude. Oh my god. Wow. Well, that was a really interesting video. Yeah, I think I'll do another one tomorrow. Honestly. Yeah, I'll do another one tomorrow. I think either that or like the stalking ones. I think I'm doing a good tomorrow. What's the date? Today is Tuesday. Wednesday is when I'm doing Don't Scream, which is a Tuesday if you're American. I'll be streaming at, let me see, when will I be streaming? I'm making this up on the fly right now. I'm gonna be streaming, well, Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be streaming Wednesday. The date would be 22nd, which would be the 21st for like Americans. The time, if it's my time, it will probably be 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Yeah. I'll probably stream then. You just have to figure it out. Just join. And yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all tomorrow. See ya.